Local Calypsonian, the mega boss, talks about the new association, SKA, that was formed. Head of Culture Department gives rundown of the virtual activities which will be held to celebrate Constitutional Day. And Minister of Romy gives an update of work being done in his portfolio. Those are the headlines, viewers, for Wednesday, October the 7th, 2020. Good evening, everyone. This is SXM Daily News, and I'm Valerie Van Putten. Thanking you so much for joining me this evening. And as usual, we have a full newscast, so let's get started. In our first story, at today's press briefing, Minister of Romy, the Honorable Ekbo Doran, updated the press regarding the landfill's opening hours, the Alegria issue, and other pertinent issues that is attached to his portfolio.
I would like to announce that the main landfill as well as the Irma landfill will be open on Monday, October 12th from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. The adjusted hours are in respect to the celebration of Constitution Day. Regular operations will resume on Tuesday, October 13th. I encourage everyone to take note of the temporary change of the hours in respect to our national holiday, and I apologize for any inconvenience that this may cause. Pertaining to the Alegria request for water rights, water parcel, I would like to inform the general public that on Tuesday, October 6th, I have denied this request. As basis for their request, Alegria desire to develop their project by expanding on parcels of land previously allotted with said water parcel. While I can understand Alegria's wish to have requested water parcel granted to them, I made a decision that was in the best interest of Country St. Martin. Based on advices from experts on the Ministry of Romy, as well as external advice and comments, including those made by the Nature Foundation. My decision on the request of Alegria is an administrative one, and Country St. Martin has stated in a previous injunction case filed by Alegria that is in the opinion that Alegria presented the administrative matter to the wrong court by filing a civil injunction case. This matter is still in appeal, and as requested, we have requested to suspend the working of the injunction case of September 4, 2020. The decision given by the injunction judge is a temporary one based on Alegria's position that Country St. Martin agreed with the draft decision to grant them the requested rights to the water parcel. From the judge's decision, it is clear that neither the Secretary General of the Ministry of Romy nor the previous attorney representing government were authorized to entertain and agree to a settlement agreement on said draft decision. The decision of the injunction judge is a civil matter, does not deter me from my administrative right to make a decision on a pending request as was filed by Alegria for the water parcel. The reason behind the decision to deny the request has been communicated to Alegria in the meantime. Residents and tourists enjoy watching planes land at the Maho Beach. It is one of our main attractions, and it is therefore important to safeguard Maho Beach and all other beaches for that matter. It is indicated that there might be a potential damage to our beaches and our environment. I will have to go all out to avoid that. Being a representative of the people of St. Martin and Minister of Romy, it is my duty to weigh everything out before making decisions. The request would have been issued for 60 years. I cannot afford a potential wrong to happen to this because I won't be able to correct it in my lifetime. And by then, the damage would already be done. This matter is just one of many battles that I will face as Minister of Romy, and is not the first, and it definitely will not be the last. However, I will continue to fight in the best interest of the people of St. Martin, as I was elected and eventually appointed to do so in this position.
And in more news, as Constitutional Day approaches, the activities to commemorate that day will be done virtually. Head of the Department of Culture, Ms. Clara Reyes, speaking in our newsroom recently, gave a rundown of the virtual activities which will be held on October the 12th instead of October the 10th, and she tells us why.
So the government of St. Martin is organizing a commemorative celebration for the 10th anniversary of St. Martin becoming a constituent country, constituent status within the Dutch Kingdom. So that means that although 1010 actually happened on the 10th of October, the ordinance says that on Monday, the second Monday, is when they celebrated as an official holiday. So the official commemoration takes place on October 12th, which is Monday, October 12th. However, this year, I think, as part of the fact that it's the 10th anniversary, the governor will also be hosting a commemorative observation on October the 10th. And that's a Saturday, October 10th, which is a very small, low-key affair, considering the climate that we live in. So he will have his national address live from the footsteps of the courthouse. And then on Monday, October 12th, you will have the government full virtual commemoration for the 10th anniversary of, let's say, 10-10-10. It's a catchy phrase, it will live forever as 10-10-10, So, and because of the situation that we find ourselves in with this pandemic, and to have safety distancing and make sure that people are safe, the entire production, the entire commemoration will be a virtual event. So for the last 3 weeks, we've been interviewing, key protagonists who were, let's say, the architects, the people that went to the meetings and signed the documents and who propelled forward the people's mandate, because there was a referendum in 2000 on June 23rd where the people of St. Martin opted to go to status apartheid. So based on that mandate, the parties, the committees, the various leaders of government worked diligently, ferociously, I might add, ferociously, to bring about this transition to where now we are a country within the Dutch Kingdom. So that will take place virtually online on the government website and government Facebook page. And you can follow the whole unfolding, hear the behind the scenes story, what were the conditions that were in place that propelled the St. Martin people to decide for this constitutional change, and then the journey to get there, and then finally, now that we're here, how is it and what next? And then combined with that, so you'll have the stories from the side of the government officials that were instrumental in realizing this journey, but also now on the flip side, you have the creative economy contribution with cultural performances interspersed throughout these dialogue and these narratives. So you have a huge cast of performers, dance schools, music schools, orchestras, organizations, poets, movers, who will now add their interpretation of their sentiments about how they feel for our country status. And it's very uplifting. All the artists, all the songs, all the dances talk about, a brand new day, country St. Martin, 10-10-10. So I think people will connect to the story and find themselves in it. And then most importantly, be, front row seat, because now you don't have to stand up in a crowd of people. You can stay in your living room, you can stay on your porch, you can stay at the beach, and keep yourself safe from the pandemic, and see this wonderful presentation online.
And in more news for you at this time, with the launching of the contactless Bancomático Smart Card recently, the bank has introduced the new functionality. However, one of the branches was closed recently, and General Managing Director of the Windward Islands Bank, Mr. Derek Downs, speaking at the main branch, explained the key reasons for the closure of the 80 Illich Road branch.
For some time, we realized that the traffic at our Bush Road branch, the traffic at the Illich Road branch was declining. Yes, on paydays, all bank branches have a lot of people there.
Full to capacity.
They're full to capacity. So maybe those who are complaining is because when pay time comes, they have less options. And that is understandable. But we've been seeing for some time that the traffic at the Illich Road branch was declining. And as you know, we are in a very difficult, uncertain economic environment. And just like everyone else, the bank has to try to save on costs. We have to try to reduce costs. So the closure of the branch took those two major things into consideration. The fact that we were already seeing a decline in the traffic at the branch, and this was before COVID, right? And now the environment that we find ourselves in and the uncertainty of the environment, we have to take steps to reduce our costs. So that those were the two key reasons for the closure of the Ellis Road branch.
And will you be rolling out any other new products?
Not at this stage. The tap and go is what we had on schedule for this year. It was kind of speeded up because of COVID, and I know that the central bank has been pressing the banking sector to bring the technology as quickly as possible to the market. What I can tell you is that the central bank is working on a faster payment platform for the banks where you can pay directly into persons' accounts. So rather than what happens now, if you bank at VIP and you want to pay at RBC, pay into an account at RBC, we have to go through what is called NACS2, which is the Netherlands Antilles Clearing System. And that transfer takes minimum, it can take up to 24 hours, right? Because we exchange files periodically between the banks. But the central bank is working on bringing a platform where the transaction takes 10 seconds, right? From account to account, 10 seconds. Okay. Yes. So that is one of the major things that both the central bank, because they're the ones who have to introduce the platform, but the banks are making the systems ready to be able to work with that platform. So payments between accounts at different banks take 10 seconds.
So that means that we have to wait 5 working days.
No. A check is different.
Okay.
A check is different. As long as there are checks, the process with respect to that will remain in place. And maybe we have to start thinking like Aruba did, and Bonaire did, right? Eliminating checks in totality, that we only use the technology. But that is something that is being discussed and has been discussed amongst the Bankers Association members and the central bank, looking at whether or not we still continue to use checks. A decision at the time was taken to continue with the use of checks, especially in light of Hurricane Irma and the telecommunications infrastructure being damaged at that point in time. Because once you move to the technology and you do not have checks anymore, you must have the confidence that the technology will work consistently. So in the environment we were in after Hurricane Irma, the decision was taken to continue with checks to give the infrastructure time to be rebuilt, to be refurbished, to be made better, so that once we move in that direction, the technology will be supporting everything we do in the way it's supposed to support it.
And still to come, Minister of Education sends letter to stakeholders about the continuation of distance learning. We'll have the details to that story and much more when SXM Daily News returns.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching SXM Daily News, and I'm Valerie Van Putten. As we continue now with other news, Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport, the Honorable Rodolphe Samuel, has sent a letter to the stakeholders with regards to the situation with the COVID-19 pandemic and the continuation of distance learning. According to the minister, CPS has advised the ministry that since the COVID cases are still fluctuating, it would be best not to bring all the students back to the classroom for the moment. The minister made the announcement at this morning's Council of Ministers weekly press briefing.
Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports, in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Health, Social Development and Labor, has reviewed the local situation on St. Martin regarding the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, as indicated in the letter of August 31st, 2020. As a result, you are hereby informed the following. On October 5th, 2020, the number of cases on St. Martin stands at 72. Although St. Martin is still experiencing community transmission, it is at a lower rate in comparison to 4 weeks ago. It is, however, important to note that in a meeting held with CPS on September 23rd, 2020, September 28, 2020, and October 5th, 2020, CPS has indicated that due to the reopening of bars, nightclubs on the 15th of September 2020, an increase in the window of testing from 3 to 5 for persons coming from abroad, as well as an increase in testing in which 50% of the persons tested are found to be positive, it is expected that there will be an increase in the active number of cases within the coming week. As a result, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports has been advised by CPS not to bring all the students back at the same time. Based on the current number of COVID-19 active cases in St. Martin, and due to the fact that the community transmission is still being experienced, as well as the forecast of CPS that an increase in cases is expected in the coming weeks, the Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports advised the following, provided all health protocols are in place. I allow all exam students and special education students to return to in-class instructions starting as per the week of October 19th. Prepare to cater to vulnerable students to return to in-class instructions as per the week of October 26, 2020, and prepare to cater to all students as per November 16, 2020, using approach 3 of the Education Continuity Plan as a means to further roll out the return to in-class instructions. The phased implementation of face-to-face instruction outlined above will proceed alongside continuous dialogue between the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports and the Ministry of Public Health, Social Development and Labor to ensure that all stakeholders are provided with timely information regarding the development related to infections rates in the community and more specifically in schools. So this letter went out yesterday, and it should have reached the school boards and all the parents.
And in some Calypso-related news, our local Calypsonians, and where are they now? If you have been wondering where are our local Calypsonians since Carnival was canceled in April due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had the opportunity to talk with one of our most beloved Calypsonians, Alberto Arundel, better known as the Mega Boss, and he spoke to our newsroom about life since the 2020 cancellation of Carnival and the new association that was formed.
Well, everybody know since 2019 I haven't been back on the stage. Actually, 2018 was the last time I was on the stage. So 2018, 2019, 2020, 19 was the strike, the Calypso strike.
Right.
We stood up for what we thought was right, and out of that came an association. We have an association right now where King Stonky, Marvin Dollison, is the president of the board. It's a Soliga Caisonian Association. In short, it's called SCA. So we have board members, of which I'm one. We have the members, which are all the known Calypsonians that we have on the island. 2020, we all know how this went with the pandemic, so it's a global thing. But that didn't stop the Calypsonian because, as we see, Baker Jr. started the COVID-19 Extempo Challenge, and it went worldwide. It went viral, you know. You even had people all in Australia, Iceland, and those places singing Calypso, you know. Timing was a little different, but they still tried it. So again, like I said, Calypso's alive and well. You know, Calypso is bigger than all of us. It's not just one person creates the art form or is the art form. We all contribute to the art form. But the art form is bigger than all of us.
And as we continue with more news, this item out of the police blotter. The Central Dispatch directed the police patrol to the airport road on Sunday evening, October the 4th, 2020, at around 8:20 p.m. for an accident whereby a vehicle had flipped over on its top. At the location, the police patrol encountered the red Hyundai i20 with the license plate M-1773 flipped over. According to the information gathered, the driver of this vehicle with the initials ASK had been driving recklessly, lost control of the vehicle, which resulted in the vehicle turning over mid-drive. The driver suffered only minor injuries and was treated on the scene by paramedics. The traffic department is investigating the cause of this accident. Now, turning to our weather forecast for October the 7th, 2020. Lingering moisture and instability associated with a mid to upper level trough and an approaching tropical wave may cause a few local showers. Marine conditions will remain slight to moderate for the next few days. So the outlook through Friday midday, partly cloudy to cloudy with isolated showers. Now let's turn to your 3-day forecast. And still to come, local artist Timothy Dowling excited about the opening of his art studio and gallery. We'll have the details of that story and more when SXM Daily News returns.
Make use of WIB mobile banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/quick-login.
Welcome back, viewers. And as we continue now with more news. Local artist Timothy Dowling has been working hard and is excited with the opening of his art gallery and studio this upcoming weekend, October the 10th and 11th. And with that, we asked him if he will be featuring any other artists, and he elaborated more for us.
I think at the moment I'm just trying to feel out how it's going to go. And I think it's going to go successful. I really want to have new people come in and just see and experience, and also, you know, I'm using this as a platform to just showcase other people, and it's not just for me. Yeah, because I didn't even know about Kenneth Sampson. I mean, he's amazing wood carver, wood turner, and like, why didn't people know about this? And he just, I mean, where he lives is, you wouldn't expect anyone to have a wood turning studio there. And
how did you meet him?
Through one of my students. Yeah,
okay.
She wants to learn wood turning, so
okay.
And I wanted to learn wood turning just to discover I don't like wood turning. But that's, you have to do it yourself at least once or twice. And yeah, I mean, you have to discover it for yourself. And I'm more comfortable with, you know, with painting, and I know a lot about painting, and I think it would be not foolish, but it would be like a shame just to say, okay, I'm going to put that aside. And I can put it aside for the moment, but I always want it to come back. So Yeah.
Once you start a piece, have you ever not finished it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's probably a closet full of stuff that still has to be finished.
Yeah, full of stuff that's unfinished. And yeah, I mean, so many reasons for not to finish a piece. Either it's, I mean, there's some artists that I really admire, like his name is Ard Nerdrum. He's a Norwegian artist. And when he starts, like he paints on these like massive canvases, like, and he will start something and finish it to the bitter end. And he'll be working months in it, and he's like, oh no, it has to move an inch down, scrape off the whole piece. And it's like a master's work, like Rembrandt. And then he'll just finish it 1 inch down. I'll start over. Or I'll notice it like halfway through, this has to move an inch down. And then start a new piece, but I'll just abandon it. So.
And still to come, COVID-19 vaccine may be ready by year end, according to WHO's director. We'll have the details to that story when SXM Daily News returns. Welcome back, viewers. And as we end this edition of SXM Daily News for this evening, in news out of Geneva, Switzerland, a vaccine against COVID-19 may be ready by year end, the head of the World Health Organization, WHO, said on Tuesday without elaborating. WHO Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus called for solidarity and political commitment by all leaders to ensure equal distribution of vaccines when they become available. We will need vaccines, and there is hope that by the end of this year, we may have a vaccine. There is hope, Tedros said in closing remarks to the WHO's executive board meeting that examined the global response to the pandemic. The EU health regulators has launched a real-time review of a COVID-19 vaccine developed by U.S. drug maker Pfizer and Germany's BioNTech, it said on Tuesday, following a similar announcement for rival AstraZeneca's jab last week. The announcement by the European Medicines Agency, EMA, could speed up the process of approving a successful vaccine in the bloc. 9 experimental vaccines are in the pipeline of the WHO-led COVAX global vaccine facility that aims to distribute 2 billion doses by the end of 2021. So far, some 168 countries have joined the COVAX facility, but neither China, the United States, nor Russia are among them. The Trump administration has said it is relying instead on bilateral deals to secure supplies from vaccine makers. Especially for the vaccines and other products which are in the pipeline, the most important tool is political commitment from our leaders, especially in the equitable distribution of the vaccines, Tedros said. We need each other, we need solidarity, and we need to use all the energy we have to fight the virus, he said. And with that, viewers, brings us to the end of this edition of SXM Daily News for this evening. I am Valerie Van Putten, thanking you so much for joining me. And just a reminder that this and other programs are available online. Simply log on to stmartinmediacenter.com for viewing. And on behalf of the SXM Daily News team, we thank you so much for watching and plan on meeting you right back here again tomorrow.